Hello my good students, welcome back to our Napoleon Total War Let's Play series as the Austrian Empire, where we are very much on the defensive once again, carrying on from the previous video where we did batter an Italian army over here, the Battle of Chioggia, I believe. I'm not going to try and butcher that too much. December 1805, massive victory over the Kingdom of Italy, but that was only one stack out of this one over here, and we have Marshal de Vaux over here as well to think about. You can imagine he's going to come over with some fairly elite infantry outside of the usual French elite infantry there. I can't remember, we did use our spy, didn't we, to try and unsuccessfly sabotage one of these armies, so they will be moving on. So that's basically two stacks there waiting for us of army there. I'm thinking really to circumvent some replenishment. We might want to actually just recruit some new units here, especially to help out with these German grenadiers. As good as German grenadiers are, I do like the idea of having some numbers. So we're going to get how many people are replenishing? 1, 2, 3 there will be done in a couple turns. We'll get 3 here then. We're going to be okay to replenish over 2 turns with this particular army, so we don't need to worry about replacing troops there. We have a very terrible income now that we're having some trade routes raided, so we do need to think about that as well. Where are our trade routes being raided? It's these two over here that are really doing it, and that's actually not too much of a problem. There's one ship in each raid there, but we will have quite likely a bit of a blockade around here, to be honest. We've got this Spanish force over here actually trading over here. We can take that on. But it will quite likely intercept any of our troops and ships there, unfortunately. We are looking at taking back Galicia over here with one particular army. It'll be one of these over here, of course. They do need to replenish as well, unfortunately, so we do need to wait a couple turns for that. It's going to be fairly difficult, unluckily. Well, it's a bit of a long time, a bit of a long wait. It's not necessarily difficult. Depends really. We're very much at the mercy of how this army moves into our territory, whether they want to stay in Galicia or not for a couple of turns. Because we will be fighting the emptiness over here. Belgrade in the Balkans, and of course Wallachia over here completely empty. And I would like to bet Istanbul over here is empty as well. But we don't really have the scouting over there to see that, do we? So once again, very much on the defensive. Leaving these two armies over here to deal with the Ottomans does leave this area wide open, although we do have our buffer state in Bavaria, which does have a fairly sizable army of its own, should be able to defend us from Württemberg over here. So that's the goal for today. Really, advance on the Ottomans, try and beat back these two armies if possible. Our current research is 2 turns until Army Corps organisation. It's minus 5% upkeep for infantry, or all army units really, and then we're going to go straight into mass mobilisation and try modernising our army just that much better. Might want to eventually go for better cannons as well, so we can get the fabled mortars rather than flatline cannons. So having said that, can we do anything with our taxes without pissing too many lower classes off? No, we can't. So that's rather unfortunate there. What about our treasury is working fine. Our army minister is working fine as well. So might want to try and might want to try and kick our justice secretary there. No, it's going to do exactly the same now we've kicked him. It's not to worry. So, I'm going to try and save up some money because we're a bit tight, a tad on the tight side. We're just going to end the turn there. There's not much we can do. Starting on an end turn. Very tempted to actually build up our navy so we can get some control over the seas. Actually, how much is the upkeep of 38 gunners? 166 is not bad at all. 32 gunners, 125. It's not the biggest difference there. Can we get anything a bit bigger out here? Not really, unfortunately. So we get a couple 38 gunners out, I think, after he says save money. We do need to get that going so we can get some trade going off and really boom our economy there. Ignoring the navy is not a good idea at all. So once again, let's go and see how we go. Okay, so on the end turn, if you remember from the previous episode, we were paid by the Prussians to go to war with the newly formed Electorate of Brunswick-Lüneburg. They've just offered us a peace treaty asking for, or offering 850 income, so we're certainly going to take that. That's a war off our hands and a bit of income for free. Lovely stuff. So once again, peace treaty signed there, excellent stuff. We got the Venetian infantry out as well, and a spy has more subterfuge for infiltration missions. Interestingly, De Vaux is going towards Württemberg and Bavaria, so I'm going to assume that they're planning to go for Bavaria, of course, together. Going to see if we can sabotage De Vaux in particular. And we can. That is excellent. You know what? That means I'm very tempted now to go for Italy. Can we sabotage this particular army here? We can. Oh, getting so much luck here today. Though having said that, the luck isn't necessarily true luck. You do get a better percentage or chance to succeed with your infiltration missions if there's not a real standing general like this young man is in this army here. So having a general is more useful than you might think in a couple ways there. So we're going to move up into Venice here. We're going to replace our replenishing units here with the new recruiting units. And since how far are we able to travel? Not very far at all, unfortunately. Do we want to risk... can't really see how far this army is able to move, even though we've sabotaged it. So that's the thing. I'm very tempted to try and take on these two armies very quickly with this. We'll see. We'll see. Even though we do have a little bit of replenishment to do, that's only really going to be just over half a stack to deal with. We've sabotaged this group here, so they shouldn't be able to reinforce. I think we're going to take a gamble. I think we're going to gamble hard and try and go for this army over the bridge here. We need to be rid of the Italian problem as soon as possible. Let's go for it. Yeah, and as expected, the army that we sabotage is not able to reinforce, so this won't be exactly a walkover, but it'll be that much easier to do so. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 enemy line infantry units in total, discounting the militia. Though having said that, the Italian militia has not been particularly bad recently, has it? But we are certainly out manning them. So this might be a bridge battle, actually. That'll be very interesting. Let's go. Okay, so we do have a bit of a bridge battle here. The bridge is separating the Italians from their reinforcements here, which is excellent stuff. We're going to try and counter battery as much as we can while we advance onto the main Italian line. Going to try and actually go for the chasseur cheval, which is sat on top of their cannons. We should be able to fire over our advancing infantry there as we go in. So it's quite the battle on our hands here. We're going to just quickly double time up to meet the Italians here. We do have some Fusiliers in reserve over here to try and take the hill in this town, just to cover our flank a tad. It's not really the best formation made there, but it will certainly help. I'm going to try and double time up here a little more, make our line a bit better there, and do the same with this group here. Definitely double time that because the Italians are marching quicker than I had anticipated. We're going to try and guard the bridge over here with our cavalry and then go into the back of their cannons over here if possible. We are already firing out onto this lone unit of line infantry over here, which is excellent for us. Really, really good there. We are putting our light infantry just a tad in front of our main line there because, like I've said before, we can fire over our kneeling light infantry there with our Fusiliers. And that will really help them out very, very much indeed. We should be able to start getting shots onto this light infantry over here if possible. Where do we want to fire out with our cannons though? Are we getting hits over here? Looks like we are getting some hits. So it's actually bouncing through the enemy infantry there, which is excellent. Might want to charge in with our cavalry over here actually, because we're somewhat well, the enemy's somewhat unprotected there. So we're going to just move up to help out with that very quickly. Try and use the trees as cover as well actually, that'd be brilliant. Does mean we're going to be a tad mismatched over here with this basically reinforcing a second line of Fusiliers over here. That's absolutely fine to have them as such. Does give us the option to reinforce our men later on. Do need to watch out for some Italian cavalry over here. They do have a reinforcing general staff on our flank thing. You know what? I'm thinking that's going to be excellent for this group over here to try and deal with. We will try and cover ourselves over here for now. It's going to be a tad difficult. Like so. Look at that, really, really good there. Just got this line infantry just waiting to be shot here. Absolutely amazing. And our cavalry has made contact over here, breaking the morale of this line infantry over here, making this fight that much easier. Excellent stuff. Look at that, really shattering the centre there. Really destroying the first army before the second comes in, which is exactly what you want. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that, but do need to watch out for the general staff and the chasseurs cheval over here. Wish you could garrison this church. That would be amazing, actually, for that. But what we're going to do then is actually navigate around the buildings and try and get a shot on their flank, and then push up with our centre here so that we're not threatened so much there, I think, and take the hill from the Italians there. With this unit of cavalry, we're going to go in and charge in over here, I think. Struggling a tad with this line infantry, that's not to worry. And we need to make sure our cannons are still firing down the range here at their artillery, I think. We've got some light infantry over here, actually. It's very strange. They're trying to ford the river over here with their reinforcements. It's an interesting decision. We're going to have to bring our general up, I think. And we're going to take our backline Fusiliers over here and actually protect our cannons. I think that's what they're trying to do with their cavalry in the rear there. Do have to watch out for these chasseurs cheval coming through the centre now. That shouldn't be too much of a bother, actually. Just need to make sure we square up in time here. Are they going for our light infantry or our Fusiliers? I think they're going for the Fusiliers, but we're trying late time. Ooh, that's going to be a tad difficult there. Let's just about face and run off with our skirmishers. They will likely rout our skirmishers there. We do have low morale and can't stand up to cavalry there. But not before they've routed themselves. That is excellent. Really, really good there. So we can about face once again and shoot in the back. And then get back to, yep, killed their general as well. Lovely. Does mean he's charged over here. Look at that. Very fortunate positioning there, actually. Their light infantry just stood right in our faces. Not even bothering to fire. Absolute massacre of a fire out there. Brilliant. Really, really brilliant. Caused chaos over here. Let's just reform ourselves and actually push up, I think, once again. Try and get down here to encircle the enemy. And we don't need to square here anymore either. Bring our general up a tag closer to help our morale, but it's not really needed at the moment, is it? Look at that. Battering the Italians once and for all there. We might want to square up here. We've made contact. We've not been alive to that, unfortunately. But we do have our Fusiliers over here firing in their backs, which is excellent. So we should be able to defend that fairly easily. In fact, we are. That is excellent. Really, really good there. So a minor mistake, but we've able to come out on top there. Going to charge down their cannons with our cavalry over here from the flank. That will make our centre that much safer. Might want to try and catch the enemy while they're crossing that bridge, actually. That would be amazing if we could. That would really, really be helpful. That's exactly what I want to do. According to Sun Tzu, you do not attack the enemy as soon as they get onto the bridge, but you attack them when they're halfway through. And halfway through they are. Look at the mess they've made here over this ford. We might want to cancel our cannons and actually bring them up. Let's limber up. And we're going to bring up our centre even harder there and reform as well to watch the ford over here, I think. We are right on top of their cannons as well, so we're shutting those down. Look at that. It's a beautiful sight. Mass cavalry charge is certainly the way to go when you have no morale to speak of in your cavalry, no staying power at all. Might want to counter charge here or just reform attacks. We are shooting in the backs of these chasseurs cheval over here. just to help us out there, because we are going to take some losses there if we continue that fight. We are firing out over here, or are we reforming? There we go, now we're going to fire out these light infantry, certainly in range there. And that is brilliant. We're going to take our cavalry out of that fight and bring them up to our rear for a second. We'll just come this way. And that is excellent. So we're going to bring up over here, and we're going to bring this infantry over here to circle round on top of this hill and watch them as they come down through the ford there. Might just move up a tad further so we can hit this units while they're moving across and really take this hill a bit harder there. Do have some cavalry coming here. Let's square up with both of these units because I'm not entirely sure where they're going. Looks like they're going round the church here to our flanks, so we're going to just very quickly form a thick line here and try and shoot into the backs of this chasseur cheval once again. But the square will certainly be able to deal with that. I do apologise for moving around so quickly, but there's a big old amount to take care of over here. And look at that, firing down into the column of their line is exactly the way to go as well. Really textbook attack here, if you ask me. Yeah, that chasseur cheval has indeed routed, so it can continue coming around the flank here. Waiting for that to truly shatter, really, so that may well come back. Interesting. Our centre's coming up a little slower than I'd liked, but it's looking like we're going to be okay with what we have here, actually. And that just means less losses for us to take, if that's the case. Might just move up a tad closer here to really get that range. And we're going to double time over here. And it does look like that cavalry is coming back, so we're going to double time, face them, try and get a square off if need be. I'd like to shoot them down before they come in, and they're letting us do that because they are stopping and waiting for us there. It should be okay if we just source our line. I just need a couple people in formation there before they come in. Come on, guys. We may have to square up with this group again. That's rather unlucky. Just couldn't quite source our formation out in time there. Might just square up here. Too late though on that. Too late, but they're getting friendly fire. Look at that. Ridiculous, ridiculous. That cavalry is coming backwards and forwards. It may have routed a few times and has now shattered, but it's really hampered our advances here. Ooh, did not see this. They've done an infantry charge here. Well, fair enough if they want to do that. We're going to try and bring our cavalry through a thick formation here to come round and charge through and really rouse off the Italians there. We're going to just make a very thick line here, and I think we'll be okay to advance a tad better here. Just to bring up over here and get these while they're clearly trying to reform and retreat. Just down to militia and line infantry here with chasseur cheval standing general.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Battered, absolutely battered. Finally dealing with the Italian problem on a real offensive as well. Imagine that. Imagine actually being able to play the Austrians offensively. But as I said, we do want to let our cavalry through, so we're going to have to squeeze on through. We'll pull this infantry back to give them some room. Start range there. We're going to have to reform a tad so we don't get any friendly fire. And we'll turn back here as well. And the cavalry can charge on in, route down this line infantry and moving on this over here just to make sure they all go down. There we go, look at that, massive flanking fire here. Look at that, they just don't know what they want to do with their formation. So there's not a lot to say, just walk over really. Absolutely brilliant, really heroic victory. There is a small square to watch out for there, but we're not going for them. We're going to go past them and into their chasseur cheval, I think. We can just fire in as they're moving. Over here, look at that. Amazing work. Amazing work. We're going to take some shots from the back as from that square, that's okay. Absolutely okay there, because we're shattering their morale. Let's take on this stand-in general over here. I might want to square up for this cavalry. Let's It's not going to make contact, but it will ensure us some shots on them while they're retreating out there. And their centre is crumbling finally. Excellent. That should be that. Let's skip forwards. And there you go. End of battle. Heroic victory indeed. Lovely. Brilliant work. Let's go and see the results. Okay, so we did lose a fair amount there, just bordering on 1,000 losses there, but not to worry too much. We have sabotaged the Vaux over here, so it shouldn't be able to move on to us there. We have gained +2 morale in battles for Carver and Österreich Teschen there, which is excellent news, really what we need. So if this, I do apologise, the sound bug there. If this particular army does manage to move out, we should be able to crush them, since it will just be what we see here, and that is amazing. Really, really good indeed. Would love to move this up to support and really take on the Italians in one turn, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Let's see what we do. These Ottomans aren't actually moving out. Just sorting the sound bug once again. I do apologise. Ever persistent. Doesn't look like these Ottomans are moving out in such a hurry, which means we can move up. I think we're going to move up to this manufactory here at the moment, and this group can finally start looking towards Belgrade, but we're going to sit in this farmland first. I wonder if that helps our replenishment out at all. Not particularly, but we'll be able to ask for surrender on Belgrade, because it will just be the armed citizenry in there. And we do know there's nothing really protecting it apart from maybe this army here, because we have sorted out a infiltration spy network with this particular spy here. And having said that, we're going to keep an eye. There's a stack roughly over here watching out, so we need to be wary of that. I'm just going to actually keep an eye on that. Push our spy in even further. Can't quite reach that to sabotage it, unfortunately, or spy on it properly, but it will give us some more forward sight towards Istanbul doing that. So, is there anything else we can do? I think we're okay to repair this from Transylvania, so we'll do that. We might want to start upgrading our manufactories, really, to give us that little bit more income. And ideally I'd upgrade my roads to metalled roads, but it's a little bit of a luxury, costing 4,500 and taking 10 turns to make. And in the end we will want to get the Heldenplatz for more tax rate, so we need to save up for that. So I think once again the name of the game is save money and beat back troops, really. Let's look. Our income's not particularly bad, really just going to be hampered when we get the ships out. So let's get going once again. And once again, over the end turn, the Prussians are going to pay us to go to war with the Electorate of Brunswick-Lüneburg. If we get this dynamic quite a bit, where we get paid to go into war and then paid to come out of the war, I'm happy to take the money. I very much accept bribes on this level. Let's go for it. Okay, so at the end turn, we do finally have Army Corps organisation, so we're going to go for mass mobilisation. It's going to take 4 turns. What is a little bit of a bother is that this Württemberg army has moved towards Venice. There's a lot of cavalry there. We can certainly hold back on that, but that will mean we don't really want to advance on Italy with a reinforcing army. So this army is going to have to deal with it by itself here. I'm going to try and sabotage this army again, I think. Either that or the Württemberg army. Duval's army not actually too great. There's militia. There's some line infantry, which isn't too bad. Some decent French Reunion battalion there, actually, but that's light, so it will have some good range and accuracy there. Actually, it doesn't work as light infantry. That's interesting. It says it class as light infantry, but it doesn't have the range. It does have the accuracy though, so that's interesting to see how that will function. Otherwise, fairly standard. Should be able to take that on. We're going to double check. Have 36% chance to deal with this. I think what we're going to do is try and sabotage the Vaux once again. That's not happened, unfortunately. Going to lay then another ambush right next to... Oh, we're going to take attrition if that happens. That's rather unlucky there. Don't want to just force an attack here, because it's quite likely the Vaux will reinforce them there. I'd love to make an ambush, but the attrition's not always worth it. I do apologise, that's sound bug. Give me 2 seconds, please. Okay, and we are back. I do apologise about that quick cut, that bloody audio bug, I swear. So we've started an ambush here. We are going to take some minor attrition damage from being in the deep snow here, but I'd rather take some minor casualties there rather than let the enemy just walk straight into Venice, which is a possibility here. Even though we're going to try and sabotage one of these armies, I think. We'll try and sabotage, I think this one. Has worked, which is excellent, but that's only going to cover our retreat out, unfortunately. I do want to go all the way back, which we can do actually. We're going to go back into Venice here, and that's because I really don't think, unfortunately, because we took so much damage, we can't push Milan just yet. I really hope we can do that quickly, really at the mercy of where this Württemberg army and Davao goes over here, or Davao. So we'll see, we shall see. What can we do is just remind ourselves we can't really move too far at the moment, waiting for replenishment over here. Might be able to get, how long is it going to take to get over here? A couple turns, interesting. I'm going to take, again, snow attrition there. Next turn, when we get over to not having so much snow over here, we might be able to lay an ambush waiting for this Ottoman army, then we can walk into Galicia. If we had slightly better income, I might want to make a militia army actually, so that we can police the regions we do take, so we don't have to worry about public order, so that we can just move forwards each turn with our invading armies. Just double check the upkeep of militia. It's not overly high. We do only need like 10 units or so of that, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will do there. They can link up with one here. That should be fine really to deal with a possible uprising. We'll certainly put the public order in place, and that's the aim there. So we're going to wait around for that, of course. It should be okay. We do of course have this army here with a couple units of militia and some fusiliers. That will help out as well. So we'll see about that. Does upgrading this really give us a lot more money? Not particularly, to be honest. Might really just want to watch out for upgrading our tax officers. We had that one in Croatia over here, which we're doing. So I think that's all good, really. Still going for mass mobilisation. So that's really all we can really afford to spend our money on, unfortunately. So I'm just going to wait over here and see how Württemberg moves, I think. Okay, so we do once again have another gentleman in Moravia, which is an interesting place for him to spawn up. What does he do? More dueling and better to research. Okay, well, research is exactly where we want him. Dueling not the best thing to do in this game, unfortunately. Where did that Württemberg army go? Do we think they're in the trees here waiting around along with Davao? This isn't Davao here. Who is this? Jean Reynier. Another massive French army. We have taken some attrition over here, but not too much. It's not too much of a bother there. What we might want to do then is use this army to attack Italy. I've got a bad feeling that Württemberg army and Davao are going through these mountains once again. So I'm going to pull back over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull back over here, unfortunately, with this army. And our construction says dry dock and magistrate in Croatia. That's excellent stuff. And we have, of course, I just think the Landwehr, and we do have our 38 gunners out. How is our income looking? Still a tad on the low side there, but that's what these 38 gunners are for. I think we'll make just 2 more of them, and they can come out and start contesting the sea lanes, I think. How are we doing with the Ottomans over here? They're still waiting around out here. Do we get snow attrition through moving through the mountains? We do indeed. It's not ideal to do that then. Certainly not ideal. Might bring these over to Transylvania actually. Bring them over here, because we can see an army amassing threatening Transylvania over here. I am going to try and sabotage it, but we've got the blockage on the bridge here. What is this? Wallachian boyars. Excellent stuff. Let's come out this side. There we go. But we can't sabotage that now because we did spend the action going through here. But it means we can keep sight on that. We'll get some extra line of sight because of that now, actually. This is the trait. We do have the Landwehr available now. It's going to bring them the quickest way over to Belgrade. And then these ones can join up sooner, or later on rather. How are we doing for replenishment? One more turn of replenishment, I think, and we will try and take Belgrade there. And that will mean we can go in with the Landwehr as well straight afterwards, and that would be excellent. So, once again, I think we're going to try and save our money because we are on that low income. Just needs it to come in, really. And we're going to see how these lot move around, I think. In fact, what I'm going to do is try and sabotage another army. I'm going to try and sabotage, I think, we should sabotage this army. It's not going to happen, not a problem. Did we use this agent either? Not really. It's not going to work in sabotaging this one. You can see they're recruiting once again, unfortunately. So we do need to go in there as quickly as possible. It's going to be tough. Very, very tough indeed. Let's carry on. And I actually hadn't noticed that our trade agreement with the Russians has cut off. That's quite likely from losing Galicia. So they're paying us for that. So absolutely, that will really help out our income. Brilliant. But it is the next turn. We've got our construction reports. We've got some roads in Croatia. That's brilliant. And we have, once again, a big old army over here amassing. Let's try and sabotage this once again. Has happened. It means we can try and take on this army without too much issues, and then once again try and come in here. Try and siege them out if possible later on. And yet here we go, the Württemberg army is bearing down on us. Can we try and get peace with them diplomatically? Let's go for peace. Maybe a trade agreement? Nope. Let's try again. That didn't seem too bad though. Let's try and offer them some useless stuff like bottling and canning and fire in advance as well. And they said no, so we are going to have to take this battle, unfortunately, once again. We're going to take attrition if we go anywhere into these woodlands. It's rather unlucky. So we're just going to have to go into Vienna over here and wait this out for them to attack us. Doesn't look too bad. Very similar to the Bavarian army that we did take on recently. I don't know why they can't just bloody go and take Bavaria, to be honest. Let's try and sabotage this one once again. It's not going to happen. How are the Ottomans looking? Hiding. Hiding is what they're doing. Interesting. They're coming out over here. Let's try and sabotage that. That's going to work. They don't have the best of armies over here. They do have a purely melee unit over here. 500 people of swordsmen, or 500 swordsmen in there. Got some Tartars. Got some 18-pounder guns, but otherwise some very bad Janissary musketeers there. We are going to move into Belgrade right now. Tiniest bit of replenishment is needed, but we can certainly sort this out. And I think we're just going to also that, because it's quite a minor battle, we'll be fine with that. That's all good. Excellent stuff. I'm going to peacefully occupy that. Excellent. Trait gained. Confidence attacker. Brilliant. 3 commandment attacking. And that is now ours. Going to repair that and change it up later on. We're going to go for cobbled roads there to help us out. Our replenishment actually not too bad. I was expecting that to be worse. So that's going to take 2 or 3 turns to replenish. Then we can start marching on ever forwards. We've lost sight over here on Galicia. That makes me think they're coming down here once again. So this army is going to be rather pivotal. We're going to move them up, I think, into Transylvania here. And this unit can... it's going to have to stay over here, I think, for the moment. Very tempted to actually remove that, but we might be able to put it back into Galicia later on. So, it appears we lost a unit there actually in that battle. That's rather unlucky. Not to worry, we can recruit them back. That's all good. So waiting for this Württemberg army to move in once again. Our income from that trade agreement has been put up by over 1,000. That's excellent. Let's double check we are still trading there with everyone that we can, and we certainly are. Okay, cool. Can we see if we can just trade some technology for money once again? We give them bottling and canning and land drainage. They do have mass mobilization, actually, the Prussians. Ooh, we'll try 3 for 1 there. That's going to be more lucrative. We might just ask for a little bit of payment there. We'll ask for 500. No, I was going to say no, I reckon. No, they say yes. Excellent. We have mass mobilization. Oh, that is very spicy indeed. We can finally start looking at modernizing our army that much better. That is going to be amazing for us. Let's go and change up our technology now then. Do need to build a drill school to unlock the further technologies there. That's all good. That's well within the the plan there. Could increase the happiness of the lower classes from the abolition of slavery and reduce recruitment costs by the tiniest amount there. Or we could save some time, go for the metric system and further improve our technological research rate. And I think that's what we're going to do there, just in time for our drill school to come out and help out with those later technologies. So we're going to build a drill school for 300, or 3,000 rather. 300 is a bit off. I wish it were 300. And that's going to help out there very nicely indeed. So, can we finally move on to this army over here? I think we can. I think we're going to try and do that, actually. Nothing else we can do, is there? We've just done... Yeah, there's not much else we can do. We do have this army to worry about a tad. We do have... this is why our replenishment is doing well, because we have a supply post in Belgrade. Excellent. We do have some mines as well. I imagine the Ottomans over here will try to deal with that. This army is currently sabotaged. We could try and deal with this very quickly, but if it retreats, we're not going to be able to. Let's go for it anyway. Yeah, it's good to retreat. That means we can watch that. We're going to put our units in here to deal with the terrible public order. We do have Karl Mack there, interestingly enough. That's not going to help ideally. We could just exempt them from tax to start off with. That's affecting our income not too badly there. So we're going to try finally deal with these Italians, I think. Or what is our replenishment going down there? I'm going to have to wait just one more turn, I think, for that, unfortunately. I want to go in there with as much troops as possible, unfortunately. So let's carry on once again and end the turn there. Well, as expected, the Württemberg army has besieged Vienna, and that is going to make us bankrupt because we lost some money of having our capital under siege there. So we need to remove this army now. Really need to remove this now. Let's bloody go. It's not looking too bad balance of power-wise. If we really wanted to, could probably also resolve that, but we're not going to. They've got a lot of light infantry there and a lot of cavalry. But ours are more experienced and just that much better. Let's go. Well, the defense of Vienna, guys. I never thought I'd be saying this, but the Württemberg army is bearing down on us. We're going to have to march very, very quickly to meet them. We have moved through Vienna itself in the hopes of meeting them in battle there, because they are playing very defensively. We're going to have to square up already. There's cavalry charge incoming here. Look at that. They're just going to keep coming and come straight into us there. Excellent start for the battle. Changing their minds right at the last second. That is absolutely brilliant. I think we're going to be okay for this. Look at that. Got another group here who should be okay with a square. That's not really who they want to make contact with. Going to have to probably sort out our line a tad here a second. Let's move that so that we're not so bunched up. Can fire out more guns there. Just turn around here to get more shots on their back. We're pushing our cannons all the way up to this hill here because we won't have the range with how defensively the Württemberg army is playing here. You can see we're over here hiding in the trees trying to bait them out, but it looks like they're trying to go all the way down onto our right flank here. So we may have to push up a little bit more than I'd like to there. You can see, so we're trying to get flanked over here by the looks of things. What we're going to do is, we've got some small hill here. We're going to move this unit over here to fire and protect our flanks there. Really waiting for our cannons to start coming up onto this hill though, so we can batter them as they come in there. Going to move up our light infantry then, and the rest of our units, because they'll just be wasted otherwise. Move up, take this space, and we'll try and keep the tree cover here. Try and keep a similar formation as to what we have at the moment, and we'll bring our cavalry up as well to deal with that. I think we'll put them on this side of the hill over here. Watching out for this unit of cavalry over here. That's what this unit here is for, but we're going to just pull back and fire into them if possible there, and halt here so we do get some shots out before they charge in, as they are now by the looks of things. Are they charging? Let's make a square in case. Should be able to get that just in time there. That's not too bad at all. And with the surrounding fire there, I think we'll be alright for that. Probably being caught out here by this light infantry, so going to turn about to get a better line on that. You can see our corpses on the floor. They have got some shots in already. I'm worried about this at the moment though. I think we'll be okay there. Let's come out of square. Looks like they're forming up once again though. Have to make some thick lines here. There we go, there we go. Our morale and accuracy and volume of firepower just basing up that line infantry there. Is our bloody cannons in position? It is indeed. Let's finally unlimber and square up once again here. And we can get some cannon fire down into this cavalry and just rout them off completely there. That would be ideal. Absolutely ideal. Might have to square up with this unit as well. Watch how the morale goes and the direction of that cavalry goes. Might want to bring up some more infantry here. It says these guys are winning slightly. I don't like to hear that at all. You have to watch out for this very carefully. Cannons being very happy on that. Looks like their general's actually pushing forwards quite a bit. Can we perhaps get some shots in here then, so the main formation? That's the question. So remove the squares here and now put our attention into this group. Move out over here and try and tempt the cavalry to get hit by our light infantry there. That's a double time that, I think. There we go, now they're getting surprised by our light infantry there, which were hidden. That's amazing. Wondering why we've lost morale there at the moment. Might have to square up with this cavalry inbound. Want to get one volley in beforehand, but we're just not going to be able to there. We've got to square up. Just about well timed there, I think. That will do it. That will do it. Excellent. Now we could probably move in with our cavalry in just a minute, I think. We might have to move up with our main line over here now and complete the encirclement once again. Where are our cannons actually firing? They are coming out over here. That might be why we're losing a bit of morale over here, because we're getting a tiniest bit of friendly fire there. Oh, they've got 2 units of light infantry charging our main line there. That is disgusting. Very poor decision there. Very, very poor decision. But we do need to help our own line infantry here against theirs. Oh, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Just being somewhat defensive there. I was wondering where our main Hungarian Fusiliers are, just protecting the Jaegers over here, which is exactly what we need them for. And we're going to form back up over here to deal with this line. Looks like their general's not having a great time. He is under cannon fire. We're going to specifically target him now. Look at that. Oh, that is a brilliant cluster for our cannons to aim at. Right in the open there. Love some better reload on that. That'd be amazing. Here we come. Oh. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant there. And that is coming down into their main line here as well. We can keep firing on that. We'll try and fire on these Chevaulegers actually, but their general now routing. Oh, very, very silly idea there from them. Very tempted to bring up our cavalry over here, and that will then bring down their line infantry here for us. Looks like we're going to have to worry about some cavalry on our flanks once again, actually. Keep an eye out for that. So we're going to move up to this hill. I think we'll halt with this group so that we can get some shots out, but our cannons are firing on that. In fact, we're going to turn around over here with this group. And this group can now move up. Yeah, they're charging in, so square up. Through the cannon fire as well. Look at their morale. Poor bastards. We're going to have to move our attention over here. Ooh, okay, so we're now in a bit of a pickle with our cavalry. Let's pull these back. Draw our attention round, I think take this hill properly over here. And now we can bring in our Hungarian Fusiliers to help out. Yeah, we've dealt with the cavalry over here very handily indeed. Let's get on the flanks over here. And actually halt over here. Spread out our lines. Do so like that. And that should be an easy clap over there. Might want to bring up these two formations here. Double time this please guys, need your help. And we can charge down in here. I think we'll send 2 units to the line infantry, 2 units to the light. So we'll just move these out to second so we make that a bit better. And come in like so. Brilliant work. Very, very nice work indeed there. Cannons can fire out something more specifically right into their main line here. Would be amazing. You can see we only just have the range even here to get into their main line with their cannons. Not great at all for that. So let's try and get in on their flanks a bit better over here. Send 2 units out here. And we'll form up a little better over here. Going to be some very thick lines once again, but we can come down here. Looks like their generals tried rallying them here. They are charging once again. And AI love to do these massive melee charges, don't they? To make sure these guys shatter completely, and then we can move our cavalry once again. Getting on our flank there, actually. That's interesting. Who are they trying to fire at? Looks like this group over here. I think we'll be okay. We need to face them. Yeah, they're getting desperate, getting very, very desperate. Their light infantry forced to skirmish away. Let's get our cannons, if we can, on this big old blob here. It's trying to attack ground over here and see if we can get that bouncing over. Their general's charging, is he? Or is he just trying to tempt us out there? Either way, that's a death sentence. We need to get our own cavalry in them. Oh, that's such a poor decision there. What is going on with this group over here? Being charged in the back. AI does like to choose some strange tactics there. We need to hurry up over here, otherwise we're going to get battered. These guys need to hurry up as well. We can catch their general on the retreat there, actually. And that will really help us out because we have encircled them rather a lot. Look at that. Oh dear. Deary dear. So that's the general shattered and killed. So now if we're going for a massive rear charge, we can cause some mass routes over here. Just trying to deal with this a little bit better. There we go. Look at that. These guys did turn round in time, but not so quick that yet they're not even bracing now. That's not going to help at all. See the morale shattered here. We're going to keep our skirmishers facing this way to make sure these guys shatter completely. We're going to turn round our Hungarian Fusiliers as well. We're going to bring round these guys here, like so. Cavalry can come in, make sure they charge that down. And we're going to charge down this group over here and turn to our flanks to deal with this group, which has returned. Can come out over here. And that'll be that. Let's fast forward. Just waiting for the routes now. Look at that. Might want to just come over the brow of this hill a tad. I think we'll be okay there. Our cannons are going for them. Look at that. Successful defense indeed. Oh, that is amazing to see. Just need to finish off with this group over here. We can bring our cavalry over to deal with that. And this cavalry over here, because they have gone off to deal over here.
One of our units has used all its
ammunition. Our units used
sir.
All its ammunition. That's fought very, very hard then. That will be the Jaegers. No worries there. They do have low ammunition. Let's actually target them, please, guys. And there we go. Excellent. Let's make sure we kill as many as possible. So that there we go. That is brilliant. Decisive victory there. Could have lost it all in that battle. Really could have lost it all in that battle. That would have been the end of the campaign if we'd lost that battle. And you can bet I would put money on Devoe being close by. Put money on it. But we do need to leave and see the results. Very, very nice indeed. Look at that crashing victory there. And that's going to sort out our economy. Back to 1,500 income. I'll take it at this point. Even more morale in battles for this guy and more command when besieging. Look at how many command stars this guy has. He's so well experienced here. 2 morale in battles, 1 command and more morale. Excellent. More command. More command there. 2 morale. Oh, this guy's going to lead the front lines one day. I think we'll just move over to finish that off. We can absolutely also do that. Finish that. And if we can, move back into Vienna there. Can we finally ask for peace with these guys now that we've battered them? They said no. Rarely have they been so insulted. Okay. Okay. Interesting choice there, guys. Interesting choice. But that's going to have to leave it there, guys. We're going to have to leave it there. Look at our situation. At least we're now taking the advance and attack to the Ottomans there. And it's a weird position with them, but I think we'll be okay. I really think we'll be okay with that. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. That's really, really something else. I shall see you in the future. Thanks for watching. Hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.